It seems everybody's protesting right now here in London. We've got strikes, tube strikes, bus strikes, train strikes, nurses are going on strike, the Royal Mail's going on strike. I think the bigger problem that you have with these sort of situations is this, though. There are other ways of communicating, getting around. And, when you look back to strikes in the olden days, they really did cripple an industry. And nowadays, of course, you've got the digital world, haven't you, where you can still make contact with people. You don't necessarily need to post a letter, a Christmas card. So really, it does have some effect, but certainly not the colossal effect that it had when they used to do those sort of things way back, and really right up until the 1980s, the battles with the miners, and of course our wonderful late British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. She didn't back down, did she? But it's this particular new greed, if you like, of people, and they are greedy, let me tell you, because as we've told you many times here on the show, the people like the Just Stop Oil, the Extinction Rebellion, throwing orange paint over lovely beautiful buildings, pouring pints of milk over the red carpet of Fortnum and Mason's and Harrods stores. These are the kids apparently that think they're making an impact, changing the world. It's almost like flower power and all that sort of thing from the 60s again, but with a lot more hardened, shall we say, backlash, to be kind. Now, a lot of people were asking me, as I appeared on Fox Business the other day, they said, where's the footage of what you were talking about? Because obviously they didn't include that in the side screen. So I wanted to show you this footage, because this is what happened literally in the very heart of London around about 11 a.m. the other morning. I was visiting an office and this demonstration was going on outside. Now, the girl that you've seen in the video is a paid actress. She's not an activist. And when you look at it, you see they're all dressed up as allegedly char women, right? And the idea was to set fire to a controlled fire, I might point out, outside the Maritime building in London, to point out the use of oil, Just Stop Oil. What was more interesting and fascinating, I found, was the fact that standing around were over 12 police officers of the British Metropolitan Police, 3 police vans. I went to speak to them, and the bottom line was this, and this is what I wanted to share with you, because this is now what we're actually fighting with the Woke Madness Brigade. Truly, this is the problem. They told me that this was a controlled demonstration and they were there to simply observe. Right. And so they didn't need to do anything because, they weren't really breaking the law. The fact that they were setting a live flame outside a building in a public domain seemingly wasn't a problem to the British Metropolitan Police. Now, as I say, the girl in the picture told me quite bluntly that she and a few of others were actually out of work actresses who were simply trying to get paid and, of course, portray themselves as activists. And because they could act a little bit, then people might take notice of their demonstration. Let me tell you, this actually never made the news. It just created havoc on the road, with traffic being stopped and then the cleanup outside the building. What did it achieve? Absolutely nothing. But more importantly, in this world of wokery that we're now living in, are the police now complicit in allowing such things to go on? And as ever, when we have a Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, who openly supports these protests and the right for freedom and freedom of speech, what chance do you really have? And more importantly now, is it any wonder that the British public are taking things and matters into their own hands? As ever, I'd love to know what you think to this particular story in the comments below. Are they right or are they wrong? Are we simply old-fashioned, or is this a new way forward in demonstrating and getting your point over? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.